Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Tier 6 British heavy tank that is in the tech tree, the Churchill IIV. Now, the Churchill IIV, I'm just going to say this away, this is probably the most underrated Tier 6 heavy in the game. I never see any of them, but when I do, I'm pretty scared of them, because I know how dangerous the thing is. So let's start out with the gun. Your top gun is the OQF 77 Gun Mark II, which is mouthful and a half. So your aim time 3.6, that's pretty good. Your dispersion, pretty good. Your damage per minute, great. Your reload time, great. Your average penetration with your premium at 208 millimeters, and I'm not even running calibrated. Your average damage is subpar, only 160 and 135. Your gun depression is not very good, only 4 degrees, and your concealment is absolutely awful. Let's talk about the armor next. Your armor is incredibly thick at 152 on both the turret and hold, which means if you're like slightly angling at someone like this, they're gonna have a really tough time penetrating you, even with premium rounds. Now onto the mobility, which is probably the worst part about this. You're quite heavy and your engine power is quite bad, which means your top speed is only 20 kilometers an hour, and I'm running the boost on this, I think. So your power to rate ratio is only 10.1. Your whole turn rate is really bad at only about 25 if you're running a thing that makes you spin faster, whatever that is. Yes, it makes you spin faster. Now, onto the consumables. On this, I'm definitely going to run Adrenaline, Multi-Purpose Restoration, and Engine Power. I'm actually going to run one Repair Kit, because one of the worst things about this tank is you get ammo racked a lot. Your ammo rack is incredibly weak, and it's just the entire hole is just an ammo rack. I don't know why, but it just is. Now, prefer visions, putting in tea, black tea, and improved fuel, because upping that DPM makes you an absolute monster. People are scared of you if you use that DPM correctly. Now, on to ammunition. We're on about a majority standard, a little bit of APCR, and a bit of HE, because your HE is actually quite good. For equipment, I'm probably going to run gun rammer, defense system, optics, enhanced gun length drive, and vertical stabilizer, because then you get your aim time about like 2.4, which is absurd. I'm definitely going to run enhanced armor, because you don't need another 72 hit points, you need this. And toolbox to increase your, because if you get tracked, you're really screwed. Definitely high end consumables, and probably engine accelerator. Now, let's get on to the gameplay. So here we are on Faust, which is probably one of the better maps for this tank. And so we are top tier, which is going to help us a lot in this kind of situation. So I see my team's going up here, and I say, okay, let's go there. I will say, if your team is about half heavies, half mediums, you're definitely going to want to go like that big circle. Now there's me being fun, I guess. I don't know. But you see the amazing reload. Like, in M6, you can easily out DPM an M6. And also, your armor is probably honestly better than an M6, because of how deep it is. So this is where the mobility of it, this is, yeah, you can just kind of stick your gun up and move, because that's how boring this tank is when it comes to moving in position. You can see even like the M6, the VK3001H, they're all ahead of me already, which is incredibly, like, near the end of the game when you're trying to get damage, it's very aggravating. So I'm gonna like, so I see this M6 get spotted, I'm like, okay, can I make it across? Do I have better concealment? I'm like, okay, I probably have better concealment than this M6. So I push it up here, I kind of look around, I'm like, okay, maybe use my OKV range to look around, so that VK3008 gets spotted, and I get spotted later than him because I stopped. And you see that actually, the pretty okay concealment when you have on the move, because how low your tank is. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rush this T-3485, because I know that not only can I out-DPM him, I can also out-armor him. He has pretty good penetration because he's the 85mm variant of the tank. I'm not sure, that was an SC-100 or the M6 that fired. Basically, I'm like, okay, that SC-100 is moving in, I'm going to push. Now, I do take a shot here, and then there's the ammo rack. The ammo rack on this thing is absolutely atrocious. You're shot anywhere inside, you're ammo racked. And so now here is I just start pumping DPM, then I bounce a shot. Just look at this DPM. It's absurd, man. It is absolutely absurd. So I'm going to put a side into it, and his turret comes off. I don't know why his turret came off, but so I'm thinking, do I push in the middle, or do I push there? So I said, okay, hold, because we aren't gonna win this. We don't know if we're certain to win this match. So I'm gonna push up toward this M6. I look over, I'm like, okay, KV2 not looking at me. GG, no team. Oh, that's T-3585 is triggered. So I'm gonna put a shot into the side of this M6, and I'm really just gonna use my good armor to probably troll this M6. I'm like, okay, there's that scavenger. I'm thinking he's dead, so I need to focus on the more dangerous threat, which is the M6. Now I see that scavenger dead, I'm like, okay, I know that Type T-34 has a pretty rapid-fire gun, and I don't want to get that in my face. So now I'm going to push up, load standard shell. You see that decent penetration coming play. Now I shoot this M6, which means I track him. And you can see I bounce a shot flat out from the side of that tank. So he penetrates with premium, probably, because that was only a 152 roll, and he has the top gun. So I'm going to turn around, I'm going to start targeting this Type T-34, and you see our team rolled that game. And because we're going to have 2 helpings of gameplay today. So here we are in Winter Malinovka, which I think, before this, I pinged the top part of the map, because I think heavy side is a lot easier to take and hold, especially if you have a tank like gun depression like the Annihilator can cause a lot of problems on heavy side. So here you can see even like a thing like a Praetor, which is a pretty large tank to say the least, is actually faster than me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Churchill in probably one of the better spots. So I see this, I look back, I'm like, okay, our entire team's going this way. And I see, okay, I'm like, is there an enemy in the base? I'm like, oh, it's an M6. So here's where that nice premium penetration comes in. I'm going to load premium, I'm going to bounce, load premium, and I'm going to start just putting damage into him. Now I'm going to keep moving back and forth, because I don't know if enemies are looking at me. I can see he has stock guns, so he's not going to penetrate me. So that was my fear right there, getting to me. And so I missed, but I see I'm going to bounce a 400 damage shell from that ISU. And then I put a shell into him. That's the amazing accuracy, this British accuracy that this gun has. So now I'm going to move up into probably one of the stronger Churchill positions, where I can side scrape. And I'm going to just do what I need to do. So I'm going to tank here. I'm going to take a shot. And you have quite a large amount of hit points for your heavy tier. I'm not even running sandbags. Look, KV2. And I'm going to go into a side screen position, because I know if that ISU doesn't know what he's doing, he's going to try and shoot my tracks, which are not going to work out for him. So look at that, just bounce, bounce. And so I don't need to, even though I have a really long reload, my DPMs have been like halved. Look, ISU, boom, bounce. And so I'm just going to start attempting, just hold here. I've already bounced about 1,900 damage. Yeah, so now I'm at 2,000, and then like, the KV2 is going to look at me. And I'm trying not to over-angle here. I'm like, okay, can't over-angle. And so I'm pretty much holding down about 4 enemy tanks in this situation. Like, I bounce another shell. And I'm like, okay, he's about there-ish. So I see the spec panzer coming out. And so I'm going to start putting damage in him. I don't know what this guy was doing here, but he clearly was not the greatest player. He's doing what he shouldn't be doing. Now, he tries to get away. I'm like, okay, he's going to get away. I'm not going to get shot to him. I don't know what this guy was thinking here. He starts doing this. I'm like, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing? And so I put another shell in him, and I'm going to advance up. So I'm at 255 hit points. I've bounced about 2 times my hit points at this point. And so this ISU, now this is where the gun depression really is going to suck. You can see the Stritzvong 74 has a lot more gun depression than me. You can just see it. Look at the SU. He's going to be taken out by that Praetor, I think, is just going to blast him, yeah. So I'm going to look at the Leo, and this is where just like, I'm going to repair my ammo rack. I'm going to take the last shot. And this is where the armor, you can see the armor is absurd on this tank. It's all about the armor. And so I think what I'm going to say, this has to be one of the better tanks I've seen. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you stayed till the end, remember to like and subscribe, comment, dislike it if you didn't like it, and tell me what you didn't like and how I could maybe make my videos better. If you did like it, give it a like and tell me why you liked it. I'll hopefully be posting more videos in the future. The reason I haven't posted in a while is my audio setup was a little whack. I'm probably going to do maybe a video on the Progetto 1646 over here. So stay tuned for that, and have a nice day.